You are talking about rebranding. Yes, it's time for the beach destination to rebrand. We have held a meeting with them, and I'm going to have a meeting next week with the working group, because we need to invest in rebranding the destinations. And we have agreed in that program, we are going to break it down to Diani as a sub-destination, Mombasa as a sub-destination, Kilifi as a sub-destination, Malindi as Watamu as a sub-destination, Malindi, and then with Lamu. So that is what we are doing. Then we have the African Safari Working Group, which we held a very successful summit in Nakuru this year. Everybody was invited, including the people here in the room were present. Unfortunately, we were disappointed. Most of you, the private sector, were not proactive. And that's the disappointment. And I want to register myself here with Chair that we do a lot of meetings and trying to come with strategies to help the industry. But when business is good, you have no time for such strategies. So don't come to us when you have crisis, because we are trying to look forward to address the challenges before they happen. And we had a very comprehensive blueprint which earmarked what are the challenges and how we are going to resolve them. So we need your active participation. But if you have no time for it, you will demoralize us in government not to help you to address those issues. We have also committed ourselves. We are going to finance a consultancy for the Rift Valley tourism strategy, and that now will be done in this financial year so that we can be able to have a clarity. Apart from the African Safari, we have other products, both heritage, culture, and also photography in those areas of the Rift Valley. How do we include them in our strategy? So we want, and I want to make a commitment here today, that we must now start executing the strategy, especially the African Safari and also the beach working group. I will have a meeting in the next few weeks with these teams and have clear strategy of how to execute those. We have had so many meetings and discussion. We know what to be done, and I think we need now to walk the talk by implementing what to be done. That the government has committed itself to the establishment of the National Convention Bureau. In fact, we were waiting for the financial year, which has just started. The Gazette notice is on my table. Any moment, I will sign it to establish the National Convention Bureau. We are not worried about financing it because we have a mode of financing, and we are committed working with tourism finance, tourism tourism fund, and already committed that allocation of funds will be from the tourism fund to the National Convention Bureau. But also I want to encourage you. I think the construction of convention centers is not government responsibility. It's you to come with those ideas, and you come and invest, and we will facilitate you in terms of tax rebates or any incentive that will make it work. We are aware, and I'm aware, that if we don't have a state-of-the-art convention center, both in Mombasa and in Nairobi, we have a lot of land available on the beaches. And I want to say this, that I've seen some of these properties have either converted themselves in old, there were hotels, and I'm talking about specifically Two Fishes and the Alliance hotels. I think we will not allow subdivision of these properties. It's very important. Diani particularly has been developed as a beach destination. And all these properties which previously were hotels on them, and they're big chunks, 10, 20 acres of land. And then today, they are being converted to normal residential real estate. I've already written to National Lands Commission, I've written to the Lands Ministry to put a caveat. These properties will not be subdivided for other residential use because Diani is a beach resort destination. We have to have guidelines, and I will ask the CEC here in Kwale, please put your bylaws in order, and also from your side, you block any development on those properties. Because we can't run resorts in a Juakali way. We must have proper planning for these resorts and have the zoning done professionally. So I want to encourage Diani particularly, and the Diani residents and the association, please be vigilant on such projects when they come. The project that is coming in Watamu on a 1-acre plot and building a 60-story building, I've already written to NEMA, putting my objection to that construction, because we cannot have a tower of 60-story building on the beach with no infrastructural support to support that. And we have a lot of land. If we want a tower, let's put it in Nairobi City rather than on the beach where we can have that development. The strategy is that we are developing this year. There will be 4 key strategies. The key strategy that I've gone through already is the American market strategy. The one is being developed now is China's strategy. We need to have a clear strategy for the Chinese market. We are only receiving 60 or 70,000 Chinese. I think we have to tap much more from the 200 million Chinese that travel out of China. Then there is the Russian market, which is very potential and is good for the beach destination. We are going to Russia in September for the UNWTO, and Kenya is bidding for hosting the 2021 24th UNWTO General Assembly in Nairobi. This issue about the tourism bill, I've already put my legal team, they've gone to Parliament and protested on your behalf, but it's a sensitive issue, but we need to engage and talk to the author of the bill so that we can be able to get a balance. Yes, we need benefits for the counties, but I think benefit is not only about just getting money directly into the pockets of the counties. I think there are many benefits that are already existing, but we need to find a way. The other issue of dredging that you have raised, Chairman, I thought we had this issue in Naivasha, in Nakuru. There was a hot issue. We have appointed Mohamed Hersi to coordinate it from the government perspective. There was a team that is already working, so there is a technical and a scientific issue that is going on. And please, let's not be too emotional in these issues. Sometimes let's listen to science as well. And here, Mohamed Hersi will give you all the details on how we are engaging with government. We are ready to listen, but please, when we agree on those issues, let's work it out in the proper manner. And finally, the issue of taxes that is coming up every time you see a tax. I've told you, Chairman, earlier, why don't you appoint a consultant privately? February, we had an increase of 1.7%, and in March, we had a decline of 4%. And you remember we had the Dusit event, which on the 31st of July this year, we will officially open the Dusit Hotel in Nairobi. So we'll be back to business in that hotel. Next, if you look at the decline that we had in the first quarter, is not on the international arrivals, it is on the cross-border people who are coming into Kenya from Uganda and from Tanzania. If you look at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, the first quarter was 311,000, compared to last year's quarter, 2018, is 304,000. Moi Airport, you have gone by 10,000 more passengers. That is 48,000 Moi Airport, and 48,000 in the first quarter, 38,000 previous year. In other airports, you could see the decline of 2,000 people there. That is other airports in terms of Garissa or in terms of Eldoret and Kisumu. Then there are other points of entry, which is mainly here, the border entries, which is a decline there by almost 20,000 people, from 128,000 2018 to 107 2019. So you can see the total then 470,000 compared to 477,000. So that is a 1.4% decline.
We are one of the key sponsors for the association's conference, and how do we come into this event? We are as well, of course, a key supplier to the Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers. So we are here to sponsor this conference, to be able to understand a lot more about their needs, because here is where you meet all the key people in the industry, people who make decisions, people who are interested in the right ingredients, what type of packages, the type of sizes, the usages, etc., etc. Here is where Brookside learns about the needs of the caterers and the people who use us in the food service industry. So this is where we come to meet them, so we are very happy to be here and excited to be a key sponsor. And we did sign an MOU 3 years ago where we sponsor them, the event, for 3 years. So we were here last year and we're here again this year, and we committed to the association to be here next year as well.
$3,000 compared to 21,000. Italy, 17,000 compared to 21,000.
Oh, yeah.
Chairman.
Yeah.